Hi everybody, just wanted to do a quick video here on a thought I had this morning based on some medical studies that are coming out, revealing a lot of things about booze. But let's talk about women. And men don't have the right to decide what a woman does, what she does to her body, for her body, what she puts into her body, or anything else. But when you know something about something, I believe it's your duty to share it. Now, while my channel is all about sobriety, I do have some knowledge in this area because I'm in the industry. I'm in the business of booze, in the business of food service, and my partner is an extremely intelligent, well-educated, well-experienced medical professional female who is a marathon runner, is a non-drinker for years and years and years, and is a vegetarian, and is not brainwashed by the medical establishment or the narrative that there's a pill to fix everything. But she's also a nutritionist, and anyway, a person who understands that the cure is sometimes very simple to do with diet, exercise, all that stuff. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. I'll tell you what it is about. It's about brainwashing. I'm old enough to remember, and it's hard to do this video because some people, they watch these videos, they watch a little bit and then they comment. You need to watch this video in its entirety, because this is not this is a pro-female video, not an anti-female video. So please watch till the end so you can understand the entire subject here. So I'm old enough to remember, first of all, I caught the beginning of when women were finally allowed in places that served alcohol. Years and years ago, women weren't allowed in bars. They certainly weren't allowed in country clubs or, on fishing trips or any of that stuff. That was a man's world. Everything was controlled by men, including the consumption of alcohol. Those were the days when you were considered less than if you were a woman who consumed alcohol. In fact, the only women back then who were allowed around men were women who were there literally to service men, which is disgraceful in itself. People love to watch the old movies, the old westerns of the mining towns, and you had the saloons and all the women were upstairs. Yeah, they were hookers. It was glorified as, the cowboy falling in love with a beautiful woman, but they were hookers. Don't give a shit how you look at it. So now, women began to be allowed in drinking establishments, and all of a sudden, then that was marketed as some kind of victory, like women have finally made it. Oh my God, we're equal to men. Great. That's nice. I remember as a kid in Europe and Ireland, Sunday morning, of course, everybody went to Mass, which is, I believe in God, but church is a whole other brainwashing experience. But church has nothing to do with God, by the way. Anyway, that's another video. Anyway, I remember back then you'd go to Mass in the morning, Then the women would go home and cook dinner, Sunday dinner, and then all the men, of course, went to the pub from 11 till 2 p.m. And I even remember back then, there would be a tiny handful of women who would be the ones that went back to the bar, and they were considered like kind of less than. They weren't considered to be good women. The good women went home and cooked the food for the family. And then, now as I got into my teens and 20s and 30s, all of a sudden, all women were in bars. And then the consumption of alcohol by women became enormous. I mean, it just grew. It grew like crazy, like you wouldn't believe. And then, all of a sudden, alcohol now and women became extremely sexy. Yep, just like they did with cigarettes. All of a sudden, it was really sexy to be a woman and to be drinking. And now, when you get to today, all of a sudden, it used to be, I remember years ago, you'd see groups of men going on trips. They still do. You know, they go on golf trips, fishing trips, whatever. Now, that's basically women. If you go to places like Nashville or Las Vegas and you walk around there, the majority of people you see in groups are women. If you go there at night, the majority of people you see in groups are women who are partying hardy. And I'll tell you, look, if you want to see something disgusting, look at a fallen down drunk man. If you want to see something more disgusting, look at a fallen down drunk woman. Now, you notice the growth in wine sales. So booze became sexy. And then all of a sudden, they started to see that the next group of consumers were coming up, known as women. And then all of a sudden, they started to say, oh, wine is so cool. And martinis are so sophisticated. And beer drinking, beer belly men are pigs. So get out of the way, men. We've got another group coming up, known as women. And then you had this explosive growth. To this day, there's an explosive growth in the sales of wine. Now, ladies, I hate to break this to you. You are being brainwashed just like men were. You know, you remember the Camaro or the Firebird or the big brand new pickup truck, the muscle car, the Mustang? They always were sold. You remember the newspaper clippings or the TV ads with the scantily clad Daisy Duke style sexy woman standing or sitting on the hood of those cars? That's why you bought them, dude. It wasn't because they were great cars. In fact, when you look back today and you see today's cars, they were actually pieces of garbage, pieces of junk. Since it's mostly men that watch my videos, I just pissed a bunch of people off, but I don't care. I'm here to tell the truth. That's why I make these videos, because they're about sobriety and they're about truth. So, who remembers the Corvette? People used to say, the reason the Corvette is so sexy, it's because when you look at it from the front, it reminds you of a woman with her legs open, with her legs spread, spread open. So now, ladies, welcome to our world. Welcome to the brainwashing. Welcome to the abuse of your bodies that's being caused by big giant corporations convincing you that you look really cool when you're shit-faced. Now, all of a sudden, here's what's happening. Let's get back to the really intelligent person in my life. Because of today's technology in the medical field, because of biotech and the ability to do genetic testing, biotesting, we're now getting amazing information coming out that one of the leading causes of breast cancer is actually coming from alcohol. Imagine that. Breast cancer is being caused in large part by the effects of alcohol. Keeping in mind, one of the biggest components of alcohol is what? Sugar. Now ask any woman to tell you about weight loss or to tell you about what's the worst thing you can put in your body. It's sugar. And then ask her how healthy wine is, and she will convince you all day long that wine is really healthy. Bullshit. I'm here to tell you it's bullshit, and you're being brainwashed. And this madness has to stop. And people need to come out and they need to start telling the truth. You know, when I was a kid, that's a long time ago, I don't remember, in fact, I remember very few people getting cancer, but I don't remember breast cancer at all. And you know, back then, that was when the real growth of women consuming alcohol was happening. Today, we have higher rates of breast cancer than we've ever had in history. We also have the highest consumption of alcohol in women than we've ever had in history. Now look, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. It's all out there. It's not lies. We're not making this shit up. I'm just telling you, ladies, for any of you who watch my channel, and I know you don't, but if you're a man, and if you're going through sobriety, or you're thinking about going through sobriety, I want you to look at your wife, I want you to look at your daughter, and I want you to tell me that you think this is a really goddamn good idea to encourage them to drink any form of alcohol, never mind just wine. So this really annoys me. And the more I learn, one of the things that comes with sobriety is your mind is opened up. You have a lot of time on your hands, right? I have a lot of time on my hands, but I'm learning so much. And as I start studying alcohol and its effects on the body, I'm realizing how devastating it can be to young women for their future. And you know, I have two things I care about in my life. Number one, up there on that list, are my family. And of course, that being my immediate family, which is my wife and my daughter. So anyway, do your research. Please comment. Tell me where I'm wrong here. But if you look at the history, it's all right there. Everything is available to you now. All you got to do is do a few simple searches, and you'll see all the data is out there. Folks, breast cancer is killing a lot of women, and alcohol is having a big part of that. So listen, do yourself a favor, stay sober, get some exercise, get out here, open up your mind, learn different things, love yourself, take care of yourself, put good things into your body, and then love those around you. It's very important that you give. And I don't mean give to people who are takers. I mean, give to people who respect it. Anyway, have a great day. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye now.